Hi all. Today we'll start our discussion with module 4, which is communication through bandwidth band limited channels. In the previous discussions, we had considered an AWGN channel model and the associated receivers. Here we are going to have a limitation on the bandwidth as compared to the AWGN models. There the EB by N naught was the deciding factor. Here in practical, what we know is there will be bandwidth limited channels or band limited channels which do not possess infinite bandwidth. That's why we'll try to understand communication through band limited channels. In specific, we'll also understand baseband signal transmission because a few of the communication systems exists. We use the band limited signal and baseband signal transmission, where the best example is PAM transmission, where we are not going to have the digital signal modulated using a carrier, but pulse amplitude modulated digital signal is transmitted through the band limited channel. So let us start our discussion with the topics. These are the topics which we are going to understand in this particular module. The first topic we have is digital transmission through band limited channels. So when I say band limited channels, the channel bandwidth is decided. That is, it is in particular range. It is not infinite uh, to be precise. Okay. So let us understand what it is. A band limited channel is characterized as a linear filter with impulse response C of t and frequency response C of f. And this frequency response C of f is given by this equation, which is C of f is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity. Sorry, the integration from minus infinity to plus infinity C of t into e to the power minus j 2 pi ft dt. And this is the magnitude response of the linear filter of channel. Channel is itself is considered as a linear filter and its magnitude response is given here. You can see when f is greater than bc or the channel bandwidth, the applied signal is greater than bc, then c of f is equal to 0, indicating that any signal which is passing through this channel whose frequency greater than bc will not be allowed to pass. Okay, it is not going to be transmitted. So input to this band limited channel signal, input to this band limited channel is a signal waveform gt of t. Then what we are going to get an output. This output is nothing but convolution of gt of t and c of t, correct? Always we have studied that when you transmit through a linear filter, what happens? It is getting convoluted, correct? The signal is getting convoluted. Similarly here, the output of the channel, what we are going to get is convolution of the applied signal with the impulse response of the channel, which is c of t, and it is given in the convolution integral domain as integration from minus infinity to plus infinity c of tau gt of t minus tau d tau, correct? And in frequency domain we know what this convolution can be represented as. It is h of f is equal to c of f into gt of f. Okay, now this h of t is the output of the channel, but at the receiver end, since white Gaussian noise is going to be added with the signal, we are going to get at the demodulator input, the signal is h of t plus n of t. So this is n of t is AWGN noise. Now the demodulator uses a filter which is matched to the signal h of t to maximize the SNR at its output, so as to minimize the noise or to increase the signal to noise ratio. The demodulator is going to use a filter which is matched filter we have studied in the previous module, and the frequency response of this filter is given as GR of f is equal to h conjugate of f e to the power minus j 2 pi f t naught. So what we can understand is, if we know what is h of t, then we can have the matched filter. That means indirectly it is saying that we should know the channel's impulse response C of t. H of t is convolution of C of t and GT of t. GT of t is the input signal. CT of t decides the uh, output of channel. That's why we need to understand what is the role of C of t or the impulse response of this channel. Then we can easily construct an matched filter at the receiver. Okay, so this is the response of matched filter. Now incoming signal is this one, this is matched filter. What happens in the receiver is, this signal is convoluted with this signal. When it is convoluted, what happens is the noise signal can be filtered out. We consider h of f here, h of f, and this is h conjugate, correct? So the convolution of these two will lead to this equation. So the output after the demodulator or the matched filter we are going to get is ys of t naught, that is at sample instant t is equal to t naught. What is the output? It is given by the integration minus infinity to plus infinity magnitude of h of f whole square df. So here this is the simplified equation. Okay, the h of t is converted to frequency domain, n of t is also converted to frequency domain. After simplifying this particular convolution integral, we are going to arrive at the output as this one. Okay, and this signifies the energy of the transmitted signal given by the notation epsilon h. Okay, this is the energy of the signal. Now the another component in the received signal is noise. So the noise component at the output of the matched filter will be having a zero mean and a power spectral density of Sn of f is equal to n naught by 2 magnitude of hf whole square. So here you can see in the AWGN channel it was only n naught by 2, but in this particular band limited channel what we have is n naught by 2 into magnitude of hf whole square. And the noise power at the output of the matched filter has a variance of, it is given by the integration from minus infinity to plus infinity Sn of f. Sn of f is power spectral density. When we integrate power spectral density, we are going to get variance. So we already know what is power spectral density. If we substitute and integrate and substitute the equation for this one, which is EH, correct? Integration of h of f whole square df is EH, or the energy. So this is the variance. Okay, and finally the signal to noise power at the output of the matched filter is given. Signal to noise power S by N output is, signal is E of H whole square, and noise power is N naught E H divided by 2. So after simplification, we are going to get 2 EH by N naught, that is SNR at the output of the matched filter. This is about digital transmission through band limited channels. In the next topic, we will understand digital PAM transmission through band limited baseband channels. So earlier it was only band limited channel, now baseband channel, because PAM is a baseband signal. Baseband signals will have a frequency from 0 to some maximum frequency F, we can say. In band pass signals or channels, we have frequency ranging from F1 to F2. Here it is baseband, meaning signal is not modulated using a carrier. Okay, so this is the block diagram. As you can see, the input data is applied to a transmitting filter having a frequency response of GT of F, and the output of which is considered to be V of T, and it is applied to a channel which is considered as a linear filter, as discussed in the previous topic, which is having an impulse response of C of F. The convolution of this V of F and C of F will be passing through the channel, and there AWGN noise is added, the Gaussian noise. The signal at the receiver is R of T. At the receiver end, we have receiving filter GR of F, which is we can consider as a matched filter, the output of which is Y of T, and this signal is used for symbol timing estimation, and signal is sampled at particular intervals of time so as to get back the digital equivalent, which is yk of t, y of kt, and the signal is next passed through a detector which detects the output data, which is approximation of the input data. Now let us understand the mathematical implementation of this particular transmission of digital PAM through band limited baseband channels. Here the input binary data sequence is subdivided into k bit symbols, and each symbol is mapped into a corresponding amplitude levels. We can think of a bit stream converted into PAM signal, where each particular symbol will be having a different amplitude level, and the baseband signal at the output of transmitting filter may be expressed by the equation V of t is equal to summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity an gt of t minus nt, where capital T indicates the periodicity of symbols. Okay, here if you want to decode what is this, it is the output of transmitting filter, and we can say this is the convolution sum of amplitude levels an and the signal shape gt of t. This is a rectangular pulse representation we have seen in the line coding formats, correct? The same equation has been utilized over here. An is the amplitude level of the symbols, and gt of t is the shape or the uh, what you can say is the rectangular pulse. Okay, now this signal, when it is passed through the channel, when it is passed through the channel, we are going to have a signal which is convolved with c of t, and as earlier indicated, it will be having uh, given by the equation h of t is equal to c of t convolution gt of t. Since it is convolution, we can represent the received signal at the demodulator input using the convolution summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity an h t minus nt plus n of t. This n of t is AWGN noise added in the channel over here. Okay, now at the receiver, gr of t is matched to h of t. Then its output SNR is maximum at the proper sampling instant. And the output of the received filter is given by y of t summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity an x of t minus nt plus w of t. Here this x t minus nt is the uh, output after convolution of the channel signal, that is h of t with the gr of t. Here this gr of t is matched to h of t, and if we split the h of t, it will be gt of t convolution c of t. So this signal is phase shifted, and the convolution sum of that is the first term in the output equation, and the second term is w of t, which is convolution of n of t with gr of t, because you can see h of t is, sorry, r of t is having two terms. This is one term, this is another term. Here one convolution, here the another one. Okay, this is about our output y of t. But after receiver filter, we have a sampler so as to get the symbol sample at the receiver. For that, to recover the information symbols an is our information symbol. The output of the receiver filter is sampled periodically every t seconds. Thus, sampler produces y of mt. Here t, small t is represented by mt, indicating the signal is sampled periodically, which is given as summation from n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity an x of mt minus nt plus w of mt. So this can be again simply simplified as y of ym is equal to, indicating m of t as y here, summation n is equal to minus infinity to plus infinity an x m minus n, indicating x of mt minus nt, okay, plus w means w of mt. This equation again we can split it into when m is equal to n and when m is not equal to n. So when m is equal to n, what happens? M minus m will cancel out, so it will become x0. This will be am. Okay, so we can write this as x0 am plus summation when n not equal to m an x m minus n plus wm. So this is the second term. First term is our actual required symbol, and the second term is inter-symbol interference. The second term is this summation term. It is called as inter-symbol interference. This term will have some value if the adjacent symbols interfere with the present symbol. Okay, and the third term is the additive Gaussian noise. Here x naught is called as the scaling factor and am is the desired symbol. So when a receiving filter is matched to the signal h of t, then the scaling factor x naught is given by the following equation, that is x naught is equal to integration from minus infinity to plus infinity h square t dt, which is equal to as in the frequency domain we can represent it as magnitude of hf whole square df. Okay, and what is this hf? Hf is the convolution of gt of t and c of t. In the frequency domain we can represent in this way, and the limits we can change from minus infinity to plus infinity to minus w to plus w, because the channel is band limited, correct? So band limited between minus w to plus w, and this will account for eh. Eh is what? Eh is the signal's energy. Okay, the same thing has been explained over here. In the next topic we'll understand this intersymbol interference and how to eliminate this, the second term. Okay, this is the residue of different symbols which interfere into the present or the sampling symbol. Okay, so I hope you have understood the topics discussed today. Thanks for